Hello everyone. We have a game with the white pieces against Parazer04, rated 1829. We're going to play the bishop's opening against him, but he copies us, so now we're going to change and play the Lewis Gambit by going d4, attacking the dark squares. He takes with the pawn. I think this is not the right move. So let's take on f7 with check. And if he takes with his king, queen h5, picking up the bishop. And although material's even, I mean, his king has lost his castling rights, so that's good for white. So he doesn't take, but still loses his castling rights. And I'm just going to go queen h5, hitting this bishop. Okay, so I'm going to take this with check. He blocks with the pawn. I know my bishop's hanging, but I was willing to do this trade earlier, so makes no sense. Now I could just take this. And unfortunately for him, this comes with a threat on the bishop. Okay, so he goes here, which hits my queen. So I don't have the threat on the bishop. Fine. Where can we move our queen? Not many places. I mean, we could go here. So he takes the bishop, so now we're just up a pawn with a better position. We could be up a second pawn, and we're going to go for that. Well, now that we're up 2 pawns, I don't mind a queen trade, but I want it to be up at least 2 pawns, because sometimes 1 pawn, it's not always that much material. So queen goes to e7. He moves the queen again for some reason. I guess he's just protecting this pawn. But he's moving the same piece again, and he's rated 1830, so it's a little weird. So now I say we just develop. His queen is here, so if I have to choose between the knights, there's this. But if you put this knight, there's that. I'm going to go with this one and try to hop it in here. There's also knight b5, but I don't want to go for material this like right away again because I already have 2 pawns. I just want to develop and castle. So he tries to get the bishop out with lightning speed. Although it doesn't hit anything, doesn't aim at anything. Kind of walks into f3. You also could start with the free improving move knight d5. I'm going to go for the free move because I can always just play f3 next, which is also another free move. I can also play h3, a free move. Okay, so he moves his queen into the center, but I'm up 2 pawns, so how good could this really be for him, right? However, if he wants to take my queen, maybe I'll make him do it on my terms. I'll just develop another piece. And if he wants to bring my bishop in the center, he can. I'm ready to play f3 and long castle. And I like my position. If you look at the center, 3 out of the 4 squares are occupied by me. He develops a knight, threatens the pawn, but it also ruins his pawn structure if I take it. He's going to isolate another set of pawns for some reason, and it initiates further trades when I'm up 2 pawns, so I could do that. I'm going to take his knight, trading up material and making him mess up his pawn structure further for the endgame. And I'm not going to take his queen and connect his pawns. I am going to play f3 though. It's a free move. It says, why did you put your bishop there? He didn't go this way, which is weird. He went back this way, staring at my pawn wall. Really weird stuff. This also lets me just castle long for free. And now I'm hitting his pawn. So my castling is a forcing move. It comes with a threat. And that's why long castling is fun, because it immediately puts the rook on the open or semi-open file. Okay, so he puts his rook on a semi-open file, but he's hanging lots of things. We're going to take this pawn and initiate another queen trade up a 3rd pawn. So now we're up 3 pawns. His pressure on the king doesn't mean anything. There's no queens. He's not coordinated. He's not castled. He has a pawn hanging here. But I'm up 3 pawns. Okay, so he's bringing the knight in, saying, hey, I'm coming with threats, but, I mean, this is preposterous, right? I'm just going to go c3 and give him this pawn, and then I'll move my king, and then his knight's trapped. There was no way, I mean, you could have brought your rook back to defend the pawn, but I don't want to go passive. So now I'll go here. Okay. So he sacks the knight, but now I have crazy things happening. Okay, so I'm up a knight because he got a bunch of pawns but gave up his knight, and I was up 3 pawns, but now instead of being up 3 pawns, I'm just up the knight. But if I go here, he defends his rook. I could go here first. I could go here first. Not sure any of this matters. I'm not going to take this because I don't want to connect his rooks faster. I am up a knight, so I should maybe trade a pair of rooks, although mine's active and his is not. So here, I take, he goes, I go here hitting the rook. He's going to give me a check. I hit the rook. His rook goes somewhere. This is hanging. Okay, let's just trade my active rook for his inactive rook, which normally you wouldn't do. But since I'm up a piece with a solid structure, okay, so he defends this. I'm now just going to bring my knight out. He blocks this pawn, which I was never going to take because I'm up a piece. And let's improve our knight for free. He goes here instead of somewhere else, letting me take further trades, and then just being up a clean bishop. His bishop is terrible, but he could have just moved it somewhere else. I don't know why he put it here. I mean, this does fix his pawns a little bit, but come on. I think I'm just going to take it. I mean, there are other moves, but let's keep it simple. We'll just take that, and then we'll just contest the open file with the rook. We're just up a clean bishop with a 4-on-2. Okay, so he tries not to trade, but I don't know how that's going to work for him. We could throw in some checks and get it here. So check, king down, then I give another check on c7, king down, check. Yeah, let's do this. Now we remove the threat with gain of time. That was the whole point of pushing his king down here, is to get our bishop out of danger and get the turn back. So he blocks like this. We can go h4. We can also take this pawn. If we take this pawn, he does something like this. I mean, I could just move the bishop back. You have a bunch of moves. I'll just take the pawn. He goes for this. This makes no sense. Yeah, that makes no sense. I mean, what the heck? Okay, so this, so this was his plan all along. Okay, I guess I'll let him take this pawn. I'll just move my king out of the way since he's gonna take it anyway. I mean, what's his idea? Go for this? Whatever, who cares? I'm gonna give it to him. Okay, I'll get my king a little closer. He'll take this pawn. I'll get my king a little closer around the other way so I don't walk into weird pins. And now I just got my king to this side, so now I'm good to go. So what do we want to do? Let's put pressure on all of his units. Okay, he moves his king, but you can't defend it again. Random check. No random check. He goes for this. Okay. Now I can attack the rook with discoveries while picking up that pawn. He goes for the bishop, but this wins material. You could have also played e5 and solidified the bishop. But this immediately wins the rook, no matter what he does. So let's look at the game. Kind of weird for an 1830, a lot of the moves he made. But in any case, this at least positively showcases the Lewis Gambit, which we don't see a lot. So here it is. It's when they copy you. You go d4. And they're supposed to take with their bishop. But this guy took with his pawn, and that opens up the 5th rank, which allows us to go for this trick. And he's supposed to take the bishop because, I mean, you're already at this stage, so. But he doesn't. This allows us to bring the bishop back, creating mating threats. But I go for something different. And the computer doesn't like it because it wants me to go for the mating threats by bringing the bishop back. But he'll take the bishop. I'll take this bishop. Now this pawn's hanging. And I'm ready to develop and castle. And his king is on f7, so. Okay. Still a good practical move. He goes here. Free stuff with check. More free stuff. Force move. Have to move your queen. Free stuff. More free stuff. Now we develop towards the center. Now that the weird tactics are over from the opening. And we improve a piece for free. You can either develop a piece or make a free move. These are free moves, or you could just develop a piece. We develop towards the center. Prepare king safety. And now we take the knight because we ruin his pawns. So it's just like free stuff as in free positional advantage, right? It's not free material, but it's free better position all of a sudden because his pawns just got worse. Free move, solidifying the center. King safety for free because it comes with a threat. Free stuff again. Force move. we'll call it forced move, some type of reaction, move your king, bring the rook back, push the pawn, something. And then he trades this knight for these 3 pawns. So forced, forced. Now it's our turn again. And then you could develop a new piece, or you could go down forced moves because they're free. So when I give him this check, it's free. So I'll still get to develop at the end of the line as if I started with it. So I give him the check. Then I get this guy to danger, like I could have right at the beginning. Then I just develop towards the center. Now you could develop a new piece or improve a piece for free. So those are always the choices. If you have free moves or developing king safety moves. So we do a free move. And then another free move because he's forced to take. And now we get rid of all possible counterplay from black. He has nothing but a rook. So we immediately develop our last piece and contest it. He obviously can't trade because then you just have a bishop. So you're bullying him off the file. And then we improve for free. Improve for free because now we're targeting a pawn. And then get out of the threat for free. This is all for free. He goes here. I probably could have gone a4 immediately. But what did I do? Take the pawn? What does the engine say? Take the pawn, push the pawn, or move the king. Yeah, they're all +5. So we take the pawn. He gives a meaningless check. I was just moving right here. I didn't even realize what his plan was because going to h2 looks so ridiculous. My brain didn't even consider that that was the thing. But it doesn't actually matter. It's just a weird move. So we take free stuff and then force move to protect our pawns. And this is just like endgame technique. So there's lots of different moves you can make, but I want to get my king off of this diagonal so my bishop can also have access to it. And I don't want to walk into g4 right now. So I want to get my king out of this pin. He gives me a check, force move. And then I attack the one target he has that's weak. I attack it again. And then the game is over. So I don't know why the analysis is not like, it's not done. But it says I have one mistake, and that one mistake was this right here, queen h5. I was just going for like the better position, and they're just saying, just save the bishop. Like now if you go here, like next move, you're threatening checkmate and the bishop, so they're saying this is just a much stronger move, which makes sense. So we'll remember that. People don't normally fall into the Lewis Gambit like this. I think this is the first time we've even gotten it. But we'll keep it in mind for the next time an 1830 makes a mistake like this. Okay. Another cool game where we fried an 1830 who played suboptimally. Submit your rapid games in my Discord. Good luck in your chess.